closer to her and has found her weakness. He clenches his fist, and his sister realizes that he's being an idiot because the habit of his indicates he's about to make small mistakes. He realizes where she's about to fire, and dodges her bullets to get into cover.
Đi ra đánh răng. Kêu con ba đi đánh đó bà mà không đánh là bà đi mới nói bà đó. Đánh răng cho thằng tròn có nó hư hết hàm răng đó bà không biết đâu. Ra bà đánh ra. Bà mà không đánh. Hả? Cái gì?
Ra đi làm đó.
Ba đi ra.
Ra đi làm đó.
Không, bà đánh.
Ra đi làm đó.
Không. Bà đánh cái không cho bà là ba đi đánh ra.
Mới ta đi là ăn con.
Bạn đi đánh con nè.
Không mới ta đi là.
Gì? Bạn ngồi xem.
Ta đi là.
Không. Bên cạnh đây. Đây.
Range. However, she has trapped him and shoots a homing missile straight at him. He attempts to dodge, but it explodes on top of him. His unit has changed, and the entire field is confused. Cecilia realizes this is the first shift, and that he's been fighting this entire time on default settings. He realizes that this unit is finally personalized to him, and then he sees that the sword he has is the same one his sister uses. He charges up his sword and begins rushing at her fleet of missiles. He slashes them one by one, exploding them behind him.
You need to kill all of the enemies.
Gains strength by converting its shield energy. His sister tells him that his sword has the strongest ability, as it gains strength by converting its shield energy into strengthening the sword. He needs to learn more before he can fly.
More.
Later that night, Cecilia is upset about what happened, even though she's the winner. She thinks of Ichika and says his name out loud. The next day, the teacher instructs the students to observe how people fight with straws. She tells Ichika and Cecilia to armor up, and Cecilia armors up in the most plot development.
Collect all.
He armors up and they begin flying. Cecilia flies faster, and he lags behind. His sister tells him that he's moving slowly for no reason. Cecilia tells him that he needs to imagine something that can keep him flying forward. He's confused about all of this, and she offers to teach him later after school. She says they can develop plot, but gets interrupted by the teacher telling them to do a nosedive. She nosedives and lands perfectly, but when he tries to do it, he ends up moving too fast and comes crashing down. Oki goes to make sure that he is still okay, but then tells
What?
him that he should
Who destroy you?
Cecilia comes and pushes her out of the way, and bends over to make sure he's okay, and all the girls are happy for him. Oki is upset, telling him that it must be cool to be him. One of the girls comes up and asks them to take a photo together and asks them to shake their hands. They hold their hands, but when she takes the photo,
What a polo.
it's their photo. Later that night, Ichika is laying down, and Oki tells him that he must have had fun today. She throws her pillow at him, and he asks her what her problem is. She tells him that she will be changing to look the other way. The plot begins developing, and Ichika hears all of it. She takes 3 hours to finish changing, and he sees her wearing a new belt. He tells her that he's always looking at her all day, and this makes her happy.
Pouting
They
face.
sleep, and she apologizes for being so mad at him. The next day, his other childhood friend appears, and they somehow end up fighting each other in a mock battle. They fight with each other, and Ichika realizes he's at a severe disadvantage. Her bullets keep firing at him as he attempts to dodge her attacks. Her bullets hit him,
I will destroy you.
and she launches more from her energy cannon that sends him crashing. The shield energy is nearly empty. He realizes that he needs to lead this battle, and wonders how he would be able to close the distance and destroy his opponent. He realizes that there's only one thing he can do.
A shot. I killed all of them.
using Ignition Boost, which is a surprise attack his
What?
sister taught him to close the distance between him and an opponent by reaching his top speed instantly. He has only one chance and begins rushing towards her. He finds his opportunity and is ready to release his final blow, but a fire blast comes from the sky and crashes into the field. Everyone begins retreating away, and they find an unidentified Stratos to be the cause.
Are you going that again?
Stratos begin firing a beam weapon. He attempts to carry her to save her, but the Stratos continue firing at them. The Stratos launch towards them, and they dodge the fire that's coming towards them. Ichika finds an opportunity to slash at him, and Ichika realizes that he's almost out of energy. The enemy continues firing.
That's a bad game?
But they realize that it has stopped when they stop talking. He realizes that it is acting suspiciously like a robot. But the girl says that an unmanned unit is impossible. Ichika realizes that it may not be impossible, so he decides that he will go all out against the robot since it isn't manned by a human. He tells her to fire at him with her full might, and this charges up his unit all the way. He rushes forward, thinking of the people he wants to defend, and slashes at the monster.
A record of Mobson.
Full power and shuts the enemy down. Later on, the girl is waiting over Ichika's body and is about to kiss him, but he wakes up and asks her if she's alright instead. In the darkness, the teachers realize that this Stratos isn't one of the 467 Stratos that were made in this world, and that it was one of the unmanned ones. The following day, Ichika
There's a 1430.
with his buddy, and his friend asks him how it must feel to be in a school full of girls. His sister barges in, and she gets embarrassed for her plot-driven outfit. She changes and prepares food for him, telling him to feel like he's at home. He asks her why she changes, and asks her if she's going on a date. His friend tells him that he bets he's this clueless.
10:35 a.m.
He feels bad for all the girls who talk to him. Later that night, the teacher comes in and tells him that Hokai will no longer be living with him because she is a girl, and they can't have a girl living with a boy as it was only temporary. Hokai reluctantly leaves, but later comes back and tells him that she will win the upcoming tournament. And when she does, he will go with her to the qualifying matches. At school, everyone is spreading the rumor that the winner of the tournament will be able to date Ichika. But then the teacher interrupts the class and tells them that there's a new transfer student. The student's name is Charles Danoa, and he introduces himself as a boy from France. All the girls go crazy because they finally found a cute boy. Ichika realizes he must protect him and runs with him so the girls wouldn't bother him. All the girls come and see that they're holding
Angry
hands,
face.
and the boys begin running away. They go to the locker room together, and Ichika begins taking his clothes off. He tells him that he'll be late if he doesn't change, and Charles tells him to look away. Ichika tells him that it seems weird that
Angry
his
face,
guy has
bad.
never asked him, but looks away anyway. And Charles changes instantly. Charles tells him that he's never felt so manly.
Money bag.
Are you sure about that? The teacher asks the girls to have a demonstration of the fight. They are both annoyed for being put in the spotlight, but the teacher tells them to use this as an opportunity to show off, and they both get excited and ready to show off their abilities. She tells them that they will be having a new person fighting against them, and the teacher comes crashing down. And of course she lands in the most convenient position possible. The teacher takes care of the girls easily, and sends both of them crashing down. The teacher tells them that they will split into groups, and all the girls split up to team up with Ichika or Charles. He trains all of them, and Hoki tells him that she can't fit in the cockpit. The teacher tells him to help her, and he gets in his Stratos and carries her up. She realizes this must be the famous Princess Carrie. She asks him if he has any commitments during lunch today, and he tells her he doesn't. She tells him to have lunch with her, and he agrees, which makes her excited. Sensational. However, he invites all the other girls too. They take turns feeding him, and he thinks Cecilia's food is disgusting but doesn't say anything. He tries Hokai's food and enjoys it and wants to eat more of it. He then goes on to feed her, and the girls begin fighting over feeding him next. The next day, we have another fucking transfer. Geez, this shit doesn't end, does it? The white-haired girl comes and slaps him in the face. Later on, during their usual practice, the new transfer student fires at Ichika to kill him. But Charles rushes in and saves him. He goes home. One day, he hears that Charles is showering. He notices his body soap is out. and decides to come give it to him, realizing that Charles is they sit quickly together, and Charles comes and presses his plot on him that was magically not there a few minutes ago. He asks Charles why he was pretending to be a guy, and Charles explains to him that it was all a marketing move. His father's company has been doing terribly, so they decided to use Charles as a marketing object because the Stratos they create are a second generation one, which is much worse than the modern third generation Stratos that Cecilia and the new transfer student use. She tells him that she's rarely ever talked to her father, maybe an hour at most in her home, and that she was even sent to steal data away from Ichika because he's the only male pilot.
This is R. The anime recap today is humiliated. More and more beautiful girls are attracted to Seiji and are looking forward to becoming his wife. A pink female gorilla and a very voracious donkey are also to be able, so he is often abused by his classmates. On this day, his life changes dramatically. The god is heard on the school radio, ordering everyone to form their teams and they will be sent to He gives his students special skills to identify others and store objects. The students travel to another world in groups, and only Seiji is left behind. The god takes pity on the lonely Seiji and gives him a unique skill that allows him to master all the knowledge of another world. Seiji is then transported into a forest, where he searches for a long time and cannot find the exit. He is too starved to move. At this time, Seiji sees a fruit on the ground. He can only identify it as an evolution fruit through his skills. Seiji doesn't bother to know whether the fruit of evolution is poisonous and quickly eats it. Fortunately, nothing wrong happens. Seiji left to level 120 nearby guarding 9 evolution fruits and a bunch of Seiji knows that he can't show up at his will because he is alone. These things gorillas are distracted. Unfortunately, a gorilla soon spots Seiji and desperately chases after him. Seiji can't beat the gorilla at all. Just when he thinks he is going to die, the gorilla stinks to death from his smell. After the